Hey, sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Dallas Cowboys taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He sets to fire deep. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Set, 3-19.
On play action, they'll throw. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
This is taken at the 15. Spinning away. And now running right through it. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Riley, and his first look is incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw again, Riley, and he comes back with one complete. Gets through and now an opening. He's at the 30, the 20, 10, and oh so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run, and even 70 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw. Riley. And this is complete. It's Marshall. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He loses 4, and it brings up 4.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up the score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On 2nd down, Elliott. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stopped short of the 30. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
To throw on 3rd down, Riley. And able to find Conley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
First down carry by Elliott. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
They keep on the ground with Elliott, and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
To throw on second down. Riley looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
All right, here we go.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On second down, Cook. And down to the 36-yard line here. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Set! Green, 39! Green!
Looking to throw on second down. Riley, he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us. On third down, Riley. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 42. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Again to Elliott. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. To throw on second down. Riley. And this one caught by Hunter over the middle. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
On third and 2, Riley. And Tate's got it. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Operating from the gun, Riley. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They start the drive with Cook. So he got 3 of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. And out now come the Cowboys. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
The man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Leopard. Leopard. Detroit. Detroit.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Riley, wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, a 22. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39.
The give is to Elliott. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. They'll run with Elliott. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Riley. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Anthony Barr leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and goal.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And that is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Now let's go. Green 39.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. A good return there, 17 yards. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember.
It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play here for the Cowboys. 42 yards.
Set. Green 39.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Here we go now. Ooh, landed.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
A final shot before break. Riley. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. That's fielded in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, if I you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
play fake. Riley, he's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 1st down, Riley. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Looking to throw. Riley. And oh, coughed it up. And this belongs to the Vikings.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Let's go. Green
From
39.
deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Set. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Set.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw.
3-19.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Play action. Riley. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
Off the play fake. Riley. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for a loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now...
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Emerson Griffin in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on third and long. Riley. And that is incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off play action. Riley. And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one. Like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he missed it.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down, make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And now here come the Cowboys. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Now let's go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Daniil Hunter coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3-and-out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll bring up a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll set up to throw. The left side caught by Diggs. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Back to throw here. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Vikings on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. He'll look to throw. Open man here is Conklin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And Rosas puts this one through. And that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any way. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He'll look to throw. Well, the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 17.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll drop the throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So a change of possession here on the punt. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. And he's got room. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. This from 54 yards away. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Going left side, it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column,